identify the truth. He publicizes the truth. And then he starts breaking the idols. He starts fighting heresy, fighting idol worship, without a fear of anything. Why? Because he knows that the only way that he can bring people to the truth is by fighting the evil to the extent where he will help these people do what David HaMelech says, Sur mera ve'aseh tov. Flee from evil and do good. Before you focus on doing good, whether it's charitable gifts, or it's prayers, or it's learning, or all the wonderful things that you can do, realize that it's even more critical to stop doing the bad things. Stop stealing, stop desecrating God's name, stop worshiping an idol, stop worshiping men, stop worshiping women, stop worshiping money. Stop the evil, stop the immorality, stop the thievery. That is more critical than even doing good. That's why after publicizing HaKadosh Baruch Hu's name, Avraham Avinu went straight to fighting against the heresy and the idolatry of his day. And then the Rambam continues and says, when he overcame them through the strength of his arguments, the king desired to kill him. This is Nimrod. And Avraham was saved through a miracle and left for Haran. There he began to call in a loud voice to all the people and inform them that there is one God in the entire world and it is proper to serve him. He would go out and call to the people, gathering them in city after city and country after country until he came to the land of Canaan, modern day Israel, proclaiming God's existence the entire time. As the Torah says in the book of Genesis, chapter 21, verse 33, and he called there in the name of the Lord, the eternal God. Here we see that Avraham Avinu uses his mind, publicizes HaKadosh Baruch Hu's name, breaks the idols to fight evil, and then starts teaching the people to do good, to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu, do mitzvot. And what followed was a disaster. How is it a disaster? I publicized your name, God. I went and I told people about you. Avraham didn't ask these questions. People ask this question every day. They say, wait a minute, I don't understand. I left the bad things. I started doing good. I started observing Shabbat. I started being honest in my business. I started protecting my brit. Started doing good things. And now all of a sudden I'm having money problems. I'm having issues. People are saying bad things about me. Aren't I supposed to get rewarded for this stuff instead of punished? That's the test. That's the test, says Avraham Avinu. That's the test, says the Torah. After Avraham Avinu publicized HaKadosh Baruch Hu's name, he fights idolatry, he teaches people to do good things, problems come. Problems come. Nimrod throws him into a fire. But because Avraham Avinu withstands the test and does not become an idol worshiper, does not fall for that trap of the Satan, what happens? A miracle happens. Just like these two kids recognized the judgment of heaven, that the only reason why they were about to be slaughtered is because they violated the holy Shabbat, that brought the miracle. And after that miracle, what happened after that miracle? That miracle was the way that HaKadosh Baruch Hu used the bad, what looked like a punishment, in order to elevate Avraham Avinu's name greater than ever before, where he was now able to not just preach to a few local people, but rather he was now going from place to place, country to country, preaching out God's name in a loud voice without being scared of anything, and people following him by the herds. Millions of people are following Avraham Avinu all of a sudden. HaKadosh Baruch Hu elevates your name to become even bigger after you withstand these tests. Why? He uses this, what looks to be a tragedy, what looks to be a problem, a financial crisis, a health crisis, all types of crises, to test you, to see if you really are a tzaddik, if you really did mean it when you said that you believe in God, if you really do mean it that you are going to follow God through thick and thin, when you said it in your debates with people, when you said it in your lectures, when you said it in your Shulchan Shabbat, in your discussions, you told people to flee evil, you told people to go away from heresy, go away from idolatry, you said all types of nice things. Hashem says, okay, let's see if you really mean it. He gives you the test. He makes it look like as if a tragedy is about to happen. Why? In order to see if you would stand the test, because if you do, now you are worthy of a miracle to happen for you, which Hashem will use to elevate your name to much bigger places than you could ever possibly imagine. Because now that the world sees the miracle, it becomes a sanctification of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's name. It becomes a Kiddush Hashem. Now everyone wants to be next to you. Look, I don't know what he says. All I know, everything is good with him. What do you mean? Didn't he just have a disease? Didn't he almost die? Didn't he lose all of his this? Didn't he? Yeah, but it all worked out. Not only worked out, he became rich again. He became this. He's healthy. He's not. What? How? He was just a year ago, he was dying. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Okay, let's go to Shiur. Let's go to Shiur. What, a guy that miracles happen? Who doesn't want to be next to a person that miracles happen? HaKadosh Baruch Hu uses these tests, these seemingly disasters, in order to test us and thereby elevate us if we would stand the test. Just like he did with Avraham Avinu. And therefore, says the Rambam, when the people would gather around him and ask him about his statements, he would explain to them, to each one of them, according to their understandings, until they turned to the path of truth. And ultimately, thousands and myriads gathered around him. These are the men of the house of Avraham. Here we see that Avraham Avinu never thought, oh, because I know the truth, therefore I'm better than you. He spoke to everybody in their level. You're a beginner, I'll speak to you in beginner level. You are more elevated, you're more learned, I'll speak to you on your level. That's what the real tzaddikim can do. One of the greatest things that Arav Ovadia Yosef, alav hashalom, left to our generation. One of the greatest things, and this is not just my opinion, this is the opinion of Gdolei Ador. Everyone knows that his Yabia Omer series that he wrote is something that the world has never seen before. But they don't consider that the gift. This was unbelievable. This is great sages from all walks of life. Ashkenazi, Chabad, Litvish, Sephardi, everyone, that even the country, the Zionist country of Israel, gave him an award for it. That's how great Yabia Omer is. But when some of Gdolei Ador saw the last book that Rav Ovadia wrote, which is called Anaf Etz Avot, commentary on the Mishnah of Pirkei Avot. A little over 700 pages, commentary on each Mishnah, full of stories, full of chidushim. Theoretically speaking, not as, extraordinary wisdom as what he showed in his responses of Yabia Omer or Ilchot Olam, all the other writings the psaks that he gave. It looked like a book of stories and wonderful things, but it's not the same. You wouldn't think this is like the biggest genius in the world. Wrote this if you didn't know. But that's the genius. That's what Gdolei Ador says. How could somebody that's so much higher than the rest of the world in knowledge, in wisdom, in spirituality, in good, in every single aspect you can possibly imagine, lower himself to fit the generation and leave us a gift? What's this gift? This is a gift to every single person that wants to know basic level of Musar and more. This is a gift to anyone that wants to be a speaker and teach the public. You don't have to think anymore. Arav Ovadia Yosef already thought everything for you. All you have to do is get a crowd and read exactly word for word of what he says, and you're finished. Why? Thinking for you.